Today we present the chickens and the building of the yard. Took us a good while to build the chicken yard. Even longer to get the chickens up here because of issues with the truck being stuck in a repair shop for over a month, but that's its own story. It was a little bit of a puzzle because we were taking this Tractor Supply chicken house and adding an extra yard onto it so the chickens would have some more room. We wanted to have a nice, easy to open top hatch so that we could get in there and clean it out well. Also kind of wanted to be able to actually get in there, to walk in. So we've got this other hatch here that I'm not going to open right now, but it swings all the way up like that. That did lead to realizing that it's kind of hard to get stuff into the compost because our options are either open this whole big hatch or open the top and chuck the food in sideways. So that's what this hatch here is for, and as you can see, that's kind of flimsy and falling apart. I'm going to Lowe's today to get the wood to finish that. So the very end of this video should have building that access door. But overall, it works great. The chickens are pretty happy. They have a feeding tube. That's its own saga. You'll see that in the video. They have access to the compost pile, which means that they're just fat and happy on one, all of the food that goes into the compost, and two, all of the bugs that eat that. So they are really, really excited. We've got a nice thick layer of bedding down, so zero issues with smell so far. We even gave them a good dust bath right over there. So good bit of sand, some diatomaceous earth. They're very happy right now. They, of course, would be happier if we would let them out and wander the yard, but we can only do that when we're out because ospreys and eagles and foxes. But the chickens are here, they're happy, and we're very happy to have them here. All right, let's get to the build. This is the part that's missing. I did not take video of myself attaching all of that wire. I just was hot and tired the day that I did that. And I also didn't get video of all of that wood getting painted black so things blend in better. The kids and Allie did that while I was working one day, and so we didn't get any video of that. The chickens are very loud. They're very concerned that I might be giving them snacks right now, but I'm not. When we finally arranged to get the truck, we had to drive back down to Chesapeake. We had to get the truck, we had to get the chickens, and here we go with the saga of catching the correct chickens in order to bring them up here. This is gonna get funny really fast.
Oh, dang. Look at her, she's like the betrayal. The betrayal. I'm gonna have to get bribes, aren't I, ladies? I am too out of shape to chase chickens. Shush, shush, you're all right. One. They're all like, what's happening? What is this? I know, there's no grip there, is there? All right, Red Wing, come on, man. You have to go. Walker will be really sad if you don't show up. Good Lord. All right, 3 chickens. 3 chickens. 1, 2, 3. Now we have to get out. Touching the chickens. They're like, what is happening?
That's a cheddar.
They're feathers.
Cheddar. They're cheddar. What's here?
Aren't they beautiful?
Oh,
So pretty. Pretty chicken.
Of course, once you catch the chickens, you have to drive them back all the way 400 miles north along winding roads, over bridges, through forests, until they arrive here in their new home. I'm glad the chickens survived. Whew, it's like 92 degrees. In May, on the bay.
Get those out.
A little more cooperative.
Yeah. Oh, they're all tired. Come on. I'm just going to set it right down so they can drink. There it goes. Oh, they're like, oh, thank God. Oh, so thirsty. So thirsty.
Well,
Come on, Glenda, eat. Or drink, rather.
400 miles and 2 eggs.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, we've got a chicken feeder. We've got the bottom of that Y that's been cut off, so it makes a little bit better of a rain hood. The base comes apart, so if we need to clean it out, we can take the bottom off, give it a good washing, and everything will go back together fine. Because here's how it works. Got obviously the long tube and the Y, and then just have this end cap here. It just drops right in there. I'm not putting any glue on that. And then here I have the tube that I'm using to give it some height off of the ground. Now, I did seal one end of that, the end that's going to be on the ground, so we don't have, you know, all sorts of like worms crawling up in it and bugs and stuff. But the other end just slides right in there and dry fits. So it's a good tight seal. We won't get any water going back up there because it sits like that. So that's a good tight seal, but I can give it a couple thwacks with a hammer while upside down, and that will come off if we need to clean it out, which is great. All right, finishing touches here. Gonna just sand this tube down so that the cap will go on and off nice and easy. Tube itself wired in pretty steady and should be just the right height for the birds. So this is gonna be good. Yes, I'm using a disc sander paper, just folded up. I can't remember where my regular sandpaper is. I might have left it down south.
I hate you so much.
She's angry that I have her coming out of the chicken coop. I'm the one who should really be annoyed though, because I put the tube on upside down. So the chickens now have a little bit of food. The top is secure. I will be getting some more PVC tomorrow. Alrighty, so the tube has a problem. All the food just spills out there. Turns out the reason why, I should do. So the reason why that happens is that the old tube that I had made back down in Chesapeake, the food would come down the tube and kind of pile up right here at, you know, a bit of a approximately 45-degree angle. And that pile ended just about here. You can see the problem. Nothing there anymore. So that means that I need a way to make that pile smaller, so to speak. I had skipped that part in the instructions because the instructions I was reading, I'm not going to blame the instructions. I should have read all the way through before I built it instead of just skimming the pictures. But they did have a giant red stop here if you want to do this alternative thing. And I didn't catch the small black, then continue on afterwards. So we're going to do my version of that continuation of the instructions. And here's how that's going to work. In the tube, we're going to add a smaller, like a reducer, okay? It's going to be a funnel. Now the instructions that I had said to use a PVC reducer and then a smaller pipe and then cut that at a fun angle. I don't want to take this apart. I don't want to cut it. We're just going to use a reducer. And use a funnel as a reducer. So, swung by the store and got your basic engine funnel. And I have scored it at about the size I need to fit into that pipe. It might need to be a little smaller than this, but I'd rather cut it large and have to trim it than cut it too small and have to go buy another one. And that funnel is going to fit in the tube. And what I'll do is I'll cut it off right about here. So if we go vertical, right about there where I'm tapping with the pinky, that's where we'll cut it off. So let's see how this works. Alrighty. In the way of these things, I might have trimmed it a little bit looser than I want, but that's okay, because as a backup, and just because I figured I need something to secure it, got the JB weld. So that'll hold it in place just fine. I'll put that in a second, but you can see the basic idea there, that now the food will come out of the funnel already like halfway down. So as it piles up, we're going to have a pile forming like right there where you can see the fingers waggling, and that pile will come up to this point, but it won't depend on leaning here. All of the leaning to, all of the piling that will keep it from spilling out of the tube will happen down in this part here. So let's go ahead and JB weld this into place, let it dry for a little while, and then deploy it to feed some chickens. And that is the chicken house build. It took a little bit longer than I expected, but I really just need to like double my time estimates on most projects. I somehow think I'm going to do things faster than I actually do. I just need to slow down and accept that it takes a while to finish things. And that's okay. It looks great. I would probably change how I do that entrance part now. Probably would have just I probably would have just made it longer and done like a flat folding side, but it works just fine. And the access panel for putting in compost is working great. And that's it for the chicken house. Hope you enjoyed watching, and let me know if you build a chicken yard house apartment complex of your own. Take care, y'all.